Start recording. Stop recording button.
Hey everyone, I wanted to come on here today and demonstrate something for you. A device that I purchased with my Amazon gift cards for my birthday. It's called the Cosori, that is Cosori air fryer. It's the smart air fryer. There's two different versions. There's the air fryer, then there's a smart air fryer. To add the accessibility as a blind person or vision impaired, you want to get the smart air fryer because otherwise it's a touch screen and it won't work. So make sure you get the smart air fryer. Um, it was $119 on Amazon. Due to the gift cards, I didn't pay the $119. And it's square. Like unlike most air fryers that are round, this one is square and it has a touch screen. But I'm going to show you what makes it accessible. It's about the size, I would say, maybe of a small toaster oven. Actually, a toaster oven, maybe a little bit bigger. Um, Everything's dishwasher safe except the machine itself. The machine itself is square along with the square baskets. And what makes this nice, and by the way, it is 5.8 cute. I mean 5.8 quart. 5.8 quarts. And one thing I have experimented with this air fryer, since it is a little bit bigger, I can actually fit small TV dinners in there. I guess they don't call them TV dinners anymore, frozen dinners. Um, I can put small frozen dinners in there, and I've been experimenting with that, and haven't had any issues. There was one. The bowl was it was a bowl, one of those mega bowls. I would not put those back in there because it did kind of reshape the top of the bowl, so it kind of slanted here and there. It was, I don't know how to describe it. It would kind of mash down the sides of the bowl, and it was crazy. But that's the only mishap I had. Which as a blind person experiments with stuff, you will have mishaps and mistakes, and that's what experimenting is, learning about those mistakes. So the app that the air fryer connects to is called VSync. That is VESYNC, and it's pretty accessible. I had to go in there and label some buttons after I figured out what they did, and of course with the new voiceover, with the new iOS voiceover, does that possible text thing. So I also go off of that, but I just double tap on the button to make sure it does what it's supposed to be doing. So let me go through here, and I'm going to open the app. VSync can be found on the App Store, and I'm not sure about Google Play. I'm assuming it can be on there as well. So we're going to unlock my phone first. I'm videoing on my iPad. We're going to open VSync. We're going to it's on the home screen and it's selected on devices. And this app can be paired with more than one smart device. It can also be paired with the Lady A, which I'm not going to mention her name because it'll wake her up, and everybody else's who may be listening. But I didn't find the commands all that great. I did link the skill. It's the VSync skill in the Alexa skills. Oh, I just said her name. In the Lady A app, but I didn't find the commands to be all that great. And I think the app is better in my opinion. We're going to click on Cosori. Again, it's Cosori, in case anyone wants to search that. We're going to double tap on that. And we're going to swipe to the right.
Settings.
Settings, that's where you can go into the settings.
Connected.
It says it's connected. That's the wireless connection.
Cosori recipes.
Recipes, Cosori recipes, that does appear to be accessible. You can it'll guide you step by step through the recipes. And what is nice about this, the recipes, is at the bottom of each recipe, after each recipe, there is a start, or actually a cook this recipe button. And what that will do is it'll automatically set the time and temperature for you to cook it. And I think that's pretty cool.
Save recipes.
Save recipes, so you can save your recipes.
Cooking history.
Cooking history, that just tells you, your cooking history.
Start cooking.
Start cooking. We're going to double tap on that. That's up all the way at the bottom of the screen.
Start cooking. Cook now.
We're going to
Back.
We're going to swipe to the right from the back button.
Start cooking. Heading. Manual.
Manual, that is, you can set the time and temperature yourself. And this air fryer does have presets in it.
Steak.
Steak is a preset. Chicken.
Seafood.
Seafood.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Vegetable.
Vegetable.
Root vegetables. Frozen food.
Frozen food. Desserts. Shrimp. Bread.
French fries.
Preheat. Well, you can preheat the air fryer. And it does, I will tell you, it does have a shake to remind to shake feature. It will send you a notification to your phone and the machine itself will also beep whenever it's time to shake your food. And I also want to let you know when your food's done, it'll also remind you by the beep and sending a push notification to your phone. I do want to mention that setting it up was not a real problem. The only problem I had setting it up was I have a router with 5 gigahertz, which is the new wireless band, and the 2.4 gigahertz. And the air fryer runs on 2.4 gigahertz. And this is a known issue where the app, if you have 2 bands, it may not see or connect to your network. So what I had to do, and those of you who use IRA will know what I'm talking about. What you have to do is the app will allow you to manually set up your connection. You just entered your SSID and password, and I got connected once I did that. So we're going to come across some pickers for the time and temperature. You just flick up and down, but they're weirdly labeled. Like, for example, the titles are actually, there's 2 pickers here. The titles are actually before the pickers, so the names are before the actual pickers.
Temperature.
Like, we got temperature, time,
0,
and see it's at 0. So I'm going to flick up, and I'm going to flick up. So this one, I already have something in there, a frozen dinner. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set it to 350. So I'm going to flick up.
170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350.
Until we get to 350.
0.
And the next picker is the minutes. So we're going to set that to 10 minutes. Just flick up.
8, 9, 10.
Degrees Fahrenheit. Minutes. Like I said, these pickers are weirdly labeled, but they're easy to figure out once you figure them out.
Delay start.
And then there is a delay start. This air fryer will allow you to pre-schedule for up to 4 hours before it starts cooking. So that's pretty cool. And those pickers, those are awesome pickers. Let's just go in there.
Delay start. Set schedule. Minutes pass. Hour pass.
Um,
0. Picker right. 0 hours. 0. Start cooking. Manual. Delay start. Possibly back. Delay start. Heading. Manual cooking. Start cooking in.
Start cooking in. Again, we have those weird pickers.
0 hours. 0 minutes. 0. Picker item. Adjustable. 0. Picker item. Adjustable. 0. 0 hours. 0 minutes. 0. Picker item. And 1. 2. 1. 0.
Got hours
0.
first.
0. Picker 1. 0.
Minutes
0.
second.
Hour pass. Minutes pass. Set schedule.
And then set schedule. Now, what the machine will do is it'll actually beep once you set your schedule to let you know it has been locked in.
Set schedule.
Let's go ahead
Possibly
and
back.
back.
Possibly back.
And
Start cooking. Heading.
next
Manual.
button after that,
Delay start.
all the way at the bottom is cook now. So when I double tap on that, it's going to cook my food, and that's already loaded in there. So we're going to double tap on that. And I just heard my air fryer come on in my kitchen. And so let's see what this screen has.
Possibly back. Manual cooking. Heading.
Manual cooking.
Time remaining.
Time remaining.
0. 10.
So it says 10 minutes. So that's cool that it tells you that it'll tell you the time remaining. Temperature.
Ready at.
And it'll also tell you the time it's ready at.
350 degrees F. 6:19 p.m.
That's pretty cool. So it tells you when your foods are going to be ready.
Pause.
The next one is pause. So if you want to shake, if you need to shake your food, you just pause that, pull the basket out and shake it. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you pull the basket out to shake your food, a dialog box will come up asking you, it'll say, hey, the basket's not pushed in all the way. Well, of course it's not, because I'm shaking the food. You just click on OK with that, and then you. So we're going to pretend we're going to hit the pause button, because the screen will be different.
Possibly back.
So I shut off the air fryer when I double tap the pause.
Manual cooking. Heading. Time remaining. 0. And temperature ready at 356:19. Continue.
And then there's
Stop cooking. Stop cooking. Continue.
continue. It's the second one up from the bottom.
Possibly back. Manual cooking. Heading. Time remaining. 0. Temperature ready at.
All right, and then
Stop cooking.
after that we have, after the pause button, we have stop cooking. That'll actually stop the cooking. You just double tap on that. So that is pretty much it. I will bring you into the kitchen so that way you can have an idea of what the air fryer sounds like. It's pretty quiet. So I will bring you into the kitchen just so you can have a listen to see what kind of noise you'll be putting up with. See, just like a little fan or something you may have on. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this demonstration. I hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, again, it's $119. Sometimes they'll have Amazon, they'll have a sale on it. And what led me to get this air fryer was someone on Applevis, which for those of you who don't know, it's a website for the blind and visually impaired when it comes to Apple products. They have apps, forms, and everything else on there that you can, like meals, you can learn how to use your iPhone or Mac as a blind or visually impaired person, and so on. So someone did a hardware review on there about it, and that led me to get it. I also would like at some point to get the new smart oven they have, because I do know the Blind Life. I think I'm not sure of his actual name, but the Blind Life posted something on there, a demo on there of his oven, and I thought that was pretty cool too. So, anyways, that will do it for this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you all later.
Stop recording button.